All right, folks, what makes the Yeti Rambler a true traveling vessel?
Find out in 30 seconds coming up on Smack and Jack Tested.
And here we go.
Oh, hey, Joe, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
I believe it's time for Smack and Jack Tested, which you have done a few of, and I think this may be my first Smack and Jack Tested.
Well, it's not. It's our fourth. I have no idea what he's talking about.
This is why we brought. It's not a live show, but it's just as bad as a live.
It's pretty bad. All right, so let's get right into it, Keith.
Yeah.
So our friends on YouTube don't scroll away real quick.
Right.
We're going to talk about the Yeti Rambler series today. We have a few of them here for examples. Yes. And so let's go into showing exactly what we're going to review today.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to our actual physical products that we have in the studio.
In the studio.
Yes. All right. So let's go to screen share here. The first one we'll take a look at is the 12-ounce Colster Can Insulator.
Colster. Why is it called a Colster?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. It's got a Colster.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay. So we have one of them for us to take a look at.
Okay.
The next one we're going to take a look at today is the Rambler 14-ounce mug.
Okay, which we have an earlier edition of.
Yes. Okay. It's very similar to the one you see here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we'll take a look at the 20-ounce tumbler, which we have
an old version,
and
actually the exact version
that you see right there on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then before I get off of this slideshow, we were curious as to why the name Tumbler. Where did Tumbler come from? Right. So let's take a look at
now.
Why.
Before we get into, I guess we don't want to talk too much about the backstory and all that. But when I go in and ask for a drink, you want it in a tumbler, which I call a tumbler. It's a short glass about yay big and round. But now they call it a rocks glass. I say a tumbler, and they look at me like, "What are you exercising
or really old?"
Yeah, yes, they do that. All right.
Okay.
See, a lot of the stuff we're going to edit out, and you won't even see. But
Sure.
Okay.
All right, folks. Why is a water glass called a tumbler? A tumbler is any drinking glass or cup that has no handles or stem. In the 17th century, it was a cup with a rounded or pointed bottom. If you set it down without draining the contents, it would tumble over and spill your beverage. The word itself comes from tumble, first recorded in English in the early 14th century from the Germanic word for acrobat.
Wow. Okay.
Now,
yeah.
That is one opinion that's out there, folks. The second opinion is this. We got this one from Wikipedia. Another is that they had weighted bottoms, which caused them to right themselves if knocked over. So they're not 100% sure. No matter, the term tumbler stems from a really long time ago.
I can see the old English people, why would they put the thing down anyway? They're drinking all the time, right?
That's right.
Maybe that's
maybe that's what discouraged them from putting it down.
From tumbling. And maybe they tumbled as well after.
Probably.
All right.
Maybe that's right.
Right. The people are actually tumbling.
Let's talk about the Colster Can Insulator. All right. So, folks, this has like what they call a gasket on the top. That comes off. Your 12-ounce can goes in there. And you put this right back on the top. And there you go.
And that keeps it from falling out, correct? I haven't used one of these, actually.
It does keep it from falling out. However, if you knock it over like that, it's going to spill somehow.
Still going to tumble.
Yeah.
The liquid itself, yes, but it'll keep the can from going out. Yes.
Exactly. So what this also does is help keep whatever you have in the can. Usually it's going to be in here. It's going to be a cold beverage.
Right.
So that keeps it cold.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I will tell you this, folks. This works. I was having a beverage out back of the house. And this, because I was doing something else, this ended up sitting in the sun. And I thought, you know what? Probably not the best place to have this. I wonder if my beverage is now warm.
Right.
Took a sip of it, and it was still pretty close to ice cold.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Isn't that just
fantastic?
I think it deserves a
round of applause.
Yeah, from the others.
Okay, so there is your 12-ounce can Colster. You can also put a bottle in here. And it depends. There are some long neck bottles that you can put this in, and it will kind of tighten up around it.
Okay.
But
Pretty much for a can.
It's really for a
Yeah,
can.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And they make these in
The pint size can,
pint size, 16
yeah.
ounce can, and they also make them smaller for the thinner cans.
The drink,
Yeah, right, the specialty drink type thing,
fizzy.
stuff like that.
What do you
Yeah.
call that? Hard cider, hard things. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, good.
All right.
Very
So
nice.
that is the Colster Can Insulator. Let's go on to the mug that you have there, the 14 ounce mug.
Right now, this
that we
is
saw.
probably from 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay, which is awesome because now you've had this for a long time too.
Yes,
Experiment,
yeah,
right?
and usually things name brand things, it's a name brand. I mean, I like the brand
Exactly,
Yeti, but
yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but these things do stay cold.
Mhm.
They are cold or hot or whatever.
Yep, hold that up so we can see.
They're very well insulated.
Now let's
It's got the handles. It's got the
little gasket on it.
gasket on it, and it's got the little you set it wherever you want, and it's kind of like it's almost like a tumbler mug. It's got a handle, and it's not going to fall over. You can put this on your car dash. Unless you go over a speed bump, you should be fine. But
right, but that will not fit into a couple.
Right, not
in your car.
No, not unless you have the Hummer.
Exactly right. So this is probably more ideal for around the office.
Yes, right. Or campfire.
On a camp. Yep. Campfire or something like that. Now, the one thing we did want to point out, I don't know if you did already, is that there's a sippy hole there, if you can see it, but there's no cover for that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's one of the older models there.
And that was the same as we didn't get to.
Yeah. Well, let's get. So that was the mug. That's the
Okay.
14 ounce Mug
Right.
Rambler, and you're saying that keeps your beverages nice and hot.
Yes, nice and hot, nice and cold.
Nice and cold.
Yes,
Yeah.
for a very long time, and they do.
So essentially, what we're saying, folks, is that all these work.
Yes.
All these work really well as advertised.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So let's move on
And-
to the. Go ahead.
Right. Go. Well, let's move on to this, and I've got
let's
some
go
more
on to the-
testimonials.
To the these are the 20 ounce Ramblers, I believe is what we have here. Okay.
Okay. Now this is
Go
the
ahead.
old
So this
one.
is the older model here.
Old school, or the it's got the same lid as the other one had, and the gasket and all that kind of stuff, and it's all solid or stainless steel inside and out. And I'll tell you, I was with my friend Barbara down in on a trip down in the summertime down in Maryland, driving around, and I had ice water in here in the morning when we went out about noon.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, at like 5, and it was hot. It was
Like a summer
July.
day.
Yeah. And the air is not on all the time. We're not moving around. At the end of the day, at 5 o'clock, and dinner time, I went and grabbed a sip, and there's still solid. They weren't huge, but there was still ice floating around.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, these things, and I have other, plastic ones, just ones you buy,
Right.
the ones you get for free or whatever, and none of them work that well. Even there's stainless steel ones you can get. They're kind of knockoffs that don't work nearly as well as the.
And I'm glad you said knockoffs, because beware of imitations and fakes.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching some reviews, and there are imitations and fakes that look exactly like these.
Yep.
Same spelling. I don't know how they get away with it.
Oh,
Same
really? Actual
spelling.
Yeti?
Yep.
Wow, no
Say
kidding.
Yeti. And the gentleman was doing a side-by-side comparison and kind of looking at the labels. Now, he didn't do a performance review, so we don't know. From those few videos that I saw, I don't know if those were as good. I can't assume they're as good.
Well,
as
they
the
would
Yeti,
probably be pirated. That's like videos copied and all that kind of thing. I mean, if it's an actual, they're using the name, they're But and I would imagine
beware.
I imagine they're online only, and get 10 of these for $5 instead of
exactly. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. So we saw the old school 20 ounce tumbler. Here is the new school 20 ounce tumbler. This is what you can buy online right now. I've had this for probably about 6 months.
Okay.
I think maybe I got this at Christmas, and I got the other one for Father's Day last year.
Okay.
One of those things. These were both presents to me by my lovely wife.
Mine too, by a dear friend.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
they are good.
They are very good gifts. Very good gifts. So this is I believe the navy blue. Again, a great cup. Can we go back to the colors by any chance? Can we do that without too much trouble? Because there's a color I like on that, and I
sure.
Should we finish this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My God.
All right. So
for those of you that are new
we're
to the
go back
show,
to colors.
yes.
Yeah. All right. God bless. All right, so here's the lid for this one. Show us the lid.
Yeah, this is really cool. I didn't know about that.
All right,
until
so
this morning.
don't give it away
Nope,
yet.
nope.
This is a big surprise that I just learned out here. Okay, so it has the gasket just like the old time, and then we have the cover here. Now, when you put this on, this is not 100% spill proof. You know, if you hold your coffee upside down like this, it's going to drip out. Not a huge drip, but it will drip.
Yes.
So these are more of a splash proof here. And
which is great because these things sometimes, if you get it down a rough road, that it's very full, it will splash out. But it does have a drain, so most of that will go back in. But I really like this.
But you don't want to put this one in your backpack.
Right.
You know, if you're going to school or you're going to work, you don't want to put this one in your backpack because it has the possibility of splashing out the top here. You want to get one of the bottles with a tight lid on it. Okay, now the coolest thing that I just learned about this by accident, and I bet every person out there watching this video already knows this about this top.
There's got to be 2 people that don't.
Maybe 2 people that don't know anything about this particular top here. Okay, so just like many others, it slides on, open, close.
Yeah,
okay,
that's.
But what I discovered by accident is it with just a little bit of effort, you can take it off.
There we go.
You can take it off so that when you put it in the dishwasher, because these are all dishwasher safe, we almost forgot to say that.
Yep.
You can separate these. And I had no idea. This is called the what's it called? The Magslider. Okay, and you can get different colors of the Magslider.
Nice.
You can order. I think they're about $10 to get 3 or 4 of these, and you can change them up.
Okay.
So if one day you're feeling like blue, you put blue on there. One day if you're feeling,
or if you got a bunch of family, everybody's got their own color.
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
Good. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So and then it slips right back on in perfect position there.
That is very. I'm gonna have to take an extra look at this.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and pull that off? But anyway, this is the 20-ounce tumbler. Again, highly recommended. This will keep your coffee hot for a really long time. If you keep it filled up, if you're not sipping too much out of it, it'll keep your coffee hot all day long.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Once it gets down to about a quarter full, of course it starts cooling off. But by then you're ready to finish it anyway. So those are the Yetis that we have, and we do recommend them. They all work extremely well. And you wanted to go back to the colors.
Oh, yes.
Shall we see if we can?
Yes. I noticed earlier they had a tremendous amount of color, and my favorite color is in there.
Okay, so let's go to here, and we'll go back to.
Well, look at them all. You got.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't take a screenshot of all the.
Oh, you can't. Okay, that's.
Yeah. Well, I can do this for you. Okay, for you.
Okay.
All right. Can you see any of the colors there that you like? Like the yellow there?
Yeah, the yellow's nice. I like that blue, that old teal.
Right here?
Right there.
Right there?
That's like an old color that's coming back into fashion.
Yes. You see them on like a lot of the older cars.
Yes.
Like the vintage Harleys or something. Or, the new.
The new vintage.
Yeah.
automobiles.
I saw one of them the other day. There's another one there in your mug.
Yep.
Okay. Even the mug nowadays has the Magslider.
And you said they are. I can upgrade these. Correct. I can get new.
You
lids
can. I believe you can get new lids for these. So if anybody else out there has, an old school or an older model of these, if you go to the Yeti, I believe it's just Yeti.com, you can get new lids that look like this,
which is good because, and also the gaskets come off, and I have used the dickens out of this in the last. I bet you I've had this probably close to 10 years now, and the gasket is wearing a little bit. I'm not complaining. I'm only saying that it is, and to be able to re-get parts. I mean, this is going to last forever,
right?
Reorder
parts, right?
Yes, reorder parts.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
So you can, I'll never, at some point I'll get one with the color on it, but I'm not going to ever get rid of this because it's, I've dropped it a couple of times. I got a couple of dings in it, but it's a solid piece of equipment.
Yeah.
That,
it's
never have to be replaced. So it's nice that you can get
built to last. And going back to washing it, the dishwasher part for me is key.
Yes.
Yes. My girls have, and my wife have all those Hydro Flask things. They're huge or gigantic.
And you can't get
all hand washable.
Oh,
all hand washable.
Yeah. Oh, goodness,
they're metal, but you can't put them in the dishwasher.
Okay.
So that means you got to get the bottle scrubber, and then the sippy thing. You got to get a straw in there and all that. But anyway, so a lot of great testimonials
Yes.
from
yeah,
Keith
yes.
here, right?
Mhm,
Because
yep,
he's had
because-
his Yetis for years.
Yes.
I've had mine for a year or less, we'll say, for both mine. Again, today we looked at the Colster. You put a 12-ounce can in here. They also make one for 16-ounce can.
And I got to say, I don't have one yet, but I'm going to get one because when I have a beverage that would fit into this, I tend to drink it quickly. Especially if you're sitting outside, it's like
Yeah,
when
it does go
when it gets
pretty
warm.
quickly,
It's,
doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, and this may help me to enjoy
That will
it a little
definitely
bit
help.
longer. Yes.
That will, and I will say it helps you relax.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you don't have to worry about it's. All right, here's an analogy. When I order eggs and bacon,
right
at a
yes.
restaurant or something, I feel compelled to eat them as fast as I possibly can
Right.
because I know they're going to get cold quickly.
Right.
All right. So same situation here. If you have one of these folks, or actually any of these, you don't have to feel the necessity to drink your beverage so quickly for fear that it's going to get warm or it's
Right.
going to get cold.
Right.
You can take your time. Okay.
Just brought up another point.
Okay.
Maybe we should look into contacting Yeti. A Yeti plate.
Oh,
Because when I go to the diner, for some reason, my chef does a really good fried egg.
Yeah.
And he sees me coming and he pulls the plate out of this fridge.
Like out of the refrigerator.
Refrigerator,
And
yes.
you feel it and it's
Out of the ice box, yes. And I'm thinking if they made it a Yeti that would keep our eggs warm we can enjoy 2 eggs without
exactly
even
without
30
feeling
seconds.
like you have to wolf them down. Right?
Yes.
All right. The last thing I think we forgot to mention is that these you saw on our slides earlier. These are not inexpensive.
Right.
I believe,
But they're not terribly expensive either.
$25 for each one of these,
Yeah.
maybe 30. I can't remember what the slide said. So,
But for real stainless steel, I mean, that's
true.
quality. So, plastic, you can get some things for $10-15 that are plastic. This is real stainless steel.
I would say in this case, you're getting what you're paying for.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. All right, folks, that is it. If you like anything about this particular review, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, put a comment below. What's your favorite Yeti that you have? Are you up in the air between one or the other? Do you have an older one that maybe you could replace the lid on? Just let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments selection. And we would love to have you subscribe to the Smack and Jack YouTube. Smack and Jack channel, so we can get more Smack and Jack tested videos, as well as our Saturday morning live shows, Smack and Jack Live, that we do on Saturdays, as often as we can do. We'll say that.
Actually, this is a Saturday we're doing this, but
in lieu of a Smack and Jack Live.
But we do them a couple times a month, so stop by and check them out.
So we'd love to have you on Saturday morning just to hang out and chat with us and see what's up for the week and on and on and on. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us on Smack and Jack Tested. We'll see you
next time
on Smack and Jack Tested.
All right.
Thanks, folks.